What's good, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is OSN. My name, of course, is Emmanuel Kwame Sapo. You might find me at Olele Salvador. And today we are taking a look at the Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl halftime show performance. First time ever, historic performance for many reasons. He's the first solo hip hop act ever to take on the stage like that and, perform. Of course, SZA's appearance could pass for a feature, but the whole show was about him. Previously, you've had hip-hop representation through the likes of Dr. Dre, Snoop, Eminem, and so on and so forth. Now, listen, this is not going to be a breakdown of what he did, and because to be very honest, the Kendrick Lamar we've all come to love and we've actually followed has always had several layers of depth in his music and his performance, or performances for that matter. So I said in a tweet right after the performance, I said, I don't know, man, I may get into trouble for this, but that was pretty an underwhelming show. The real showmen were the choreographers and the cameramen. Maybe I was expecting too much. I was watching the performance, but it was definitely not the expectations of a Super Bowl show. And since then, I've been catching all sort of heat. Key emphasis is on the fact that I said that it is definitely not at the expectation or expectations of a Super Bowl show. And why do I say so? If you follow the halftime show at the Super Bowl for years, right? In fact, let's not go too far. Let's look at in recent times, right? There is a level of approach to the selection of the songs and the music they perform on such a stage. Mind you, the Super Bowl has come a long way. This was a stage or a show that leaned towards pop, rock, some R&B. These were the type of music that were Super Bowl halftime show worthy. Until Jay-Z came in and started introducing hip-hop as a genre into the frame, because hip-hop in itself, for as long as it's lived for, has not had the benefit of such penetration over the years. Until 2019, when Jay-Z took over the entertainment aspect of the Super Bowl, which is the halftime show powered by Rock Nation. So his seat at the table has allowed multiple doors of hip-hop representation. We were lying to ourselves if we think that the Super Bowl show has always been about hip-hop. No, it hasn't. It's never been. It's not your extension of a BET stage. Let's be very honest. It's not the extension of hip-hop led or hip-hop headline shows or concerts you may know about. No, it's not. And this is not even about snubbing Lil Wayne in his hometown. I'll get to that later. All I'm trying to say is, irrespective of the artistry, the intentionality, the fact that Kendrick had to rearrange some stuff and take away lyrics and add lyrics just to get the message across. We all know Kendrick to be a political commentator or satirist who weaves his expressions and what he sees and how he sees them and his POV through his music. I am not here to add my voice to those who think Drake gave Kendrick a career. I think that is hogwash, because prior to Drake being who he is today, Kendrick existed. He existed. He's been there. He's been doing his thing, and we've seen him rise through the ranks. Rarely would you find people like Kendrick who will still stick to the guns of the original elements of hip hop, right? Considering how diluted the genre has been over the years, and with the introduction of mumble rap and whatnot, taking away the true essence and the true representation of hip hop. Rarely would you see artists like Kendrick go through the ranks, still stay relevant, and be on the arguably one of the biggest stages every year. Okay, but was that a performance for a show like the Super Bowl? From the Super Bowl's point of view, I don't think so. Simply because the Super Bowl show or the Super Bowl halftime show is known for 12 to 15 minutes of entertainment. Kendrick is not going to be the first hip-hop artist to be on such a stage. The Dr. Dre's and the Snoops and the 50 Cents, you can't tell me that they don't have, or they didn't have a message, or they don't have messages in time past to speak truth to power. No. But Kendrick gets a pass because that is his person. That is his artistry. That is his work. And last year, 2024, was arguably one of the biggest years, biggest milestones in terms of project, GNX, and as well the single, the Not Like Us single, and the whole beat between himself and Drake. It wasn't even just about Kendrick. It was about hip hop, the Black community, the culture, in its essence, right? He was very pivotal in some of these conversations that have been resurrected in the genre of hip hop, right? And like I said, he's been that light beam for many. I saw an interview from Doechii saying, look, she was inspired by listening to Kendrick's albums, and that's fine, that's fair. Now, for many, their anticipation, having heard that Kendrick was announced as the headliner for this year's halftime show, it was simply because they feel like this was the last bullet or the last action to bury his ops. The Super Bowl over the years is known for entertainment. Now, entertainment could be subjective, right? Depending on how you want to process it. Kendrick, prior to this performance in an interview with Apple Music, shared a number of things. I mean, he gave us an idea of what to expect. Theater, drama, performer. His performances are always filled with literature. It will take a while for people to even identify other things that they may have missed out on, because that's how in-depth he and the PG Lang team are. Over the years, you could tell that the selection process often considers artists who have crossover demographic songs. And I can use this Kendrick performance as an example. When Kendrick came in with the GNX trailer, just a snippet of that, and then he went on to do Squabble Up and everything, you notice that it was just, Kendrick being Kendrick, and obviously real fans of his work and those who have followed his work did not necessarily have to worry about the performance because they know the songs. I mean, if you are a Kendrick stan, I'm sure you could rap A to Z these songs. These songs are not popular yet because the album was just released, not too long ago, okay? But the moment he hit Humble, all right, even Euphoria, you notice that there was some widespread of sing-along and jam-alongs because that is what the people know, okay? And then obviously he teases not like us. You could tell for a fact that Kendrick came there for a purpose. He came there for one reason, and that is to bury his ops at a funeral. We know Kendrick to be the unconventional type of hip-hop rapper or hip-hop artist. He's always gone against the grain. He's not your type of artist to be told what to do. He's done this for years. He's been unconventional. He's political. He has this type of satire in his work, addressing issues in America. If you look at some of the scenes that were captured, kind of see the choreography and the art direction and the set design and even the costume design, you notice that he was sending a message to America, the modern day America, the today America, the forgotten America, i.e. the modern day America was built on the labor of blacks, of black Americans, of immigrants, all right? And fun fact, Donald Trump was in the stands, first time ever seeing the president of the land actively spending time at the halftime or the Super Bowl, watching the Super Bowl and having to watch the halftime show. So definitely he was doing what he does best. That's him. That's Kendrick for you. You get me? Whether you give him a Grammy stage, but the point is, this was the first time people have had the opportunity to release a message through a performance or a subtle political message to the performance. Kendrick was just being bold. He was just being disruptive. But deep down, for those of us who know some of the business behind the scenes, that's the last of it. You will go on and do his tours at the stadiums and whatnot, you'll be fine. But these white folks under this Trump administration, that was bold. That was bold. And I have this funny theory that if Trump was president before the decision was taken or the decision was made and Kendrick was going to perform on that stage, there probably would have been a contention. And the conversation wouldn't have even been about New Orleans and stabbing Lil Wayne and whatnot. I think it would have been a different conversation altogether because these are the type of performances you see at the BETs. These are the type of performances you see at the Grammys, right? But the Super Bowl halftime show, anybody who has watched it will tell you that it's a show that leans a lot more towards hits on hits on hits on back to back. Like, it's just 13 minutes, 15 minutes, or sometimes 12 minutes. Come and do your thing and go. Like, come and give us a good time. Come and jam the whole crowd. Don't jam a particular type of crowd. If you look at the black representation at the Super Bowl, even before Jay-Z came, many of you argue that there was enough black representation and what. But if you check the list of those that have come to perform at the Super Bowl, these artists were not entirely hip-hop. In fact, let me run you through the list. From 72, you have Ella Fitzgerald, right? 93, you have Michael Jackson. 96, you had Diana Ross. 97, the Blues Brothers, and they featured James Brown. 98, you had Boyz II Men with Smokey Robinson, Martha Reeves, The Temptations, and Queen Latifah. 99, you had Stevie Wonder, Gloria Estefan, and the Bad Voodoo Daddy. 2001, you had Ray Charles. Even Ray Charles, it was a pre-game show. It wasn't notable. 2002, you have Mary J. Blige with U2. 2004, you had Janet Jackson with Timberlake, P. Diddy, Nelly, and Kid Rock. 2005, you had Black Eyed Peas. They also had a pre-game show, and the halftime was handled by Paul McCartney. 2007, Prince solo just as Michael Jackson. 2011, it was the Black Eyed Peas with Usher. 2012, you had Madonna with Nicki Minaj and CeeLo Green. 2013, you had Beyonce with Destiny's Child Reunion. 2016, you had Beyonce as a guest with Coldplay and Bruno Mars. One of my favorites, personal favorites, right? 2017, we didn't have a black actor or a black performer. You had Lady Gaga, who headlined solo. There were no black guest performance. And in 2018, we didn't have any representation. Justin Timberlake, predominantly white, headline solo, and so on. Until 2019, when Jay-Z took over. What I'm trying to tell you is, even with the black people you see in this list before Jay-Z came into the fray, these black people were doing songs that were cross-demographic. These guys were big stars, huge stars, that you couldn't deny the impact of their music. The Super Bowl has always been known for pop, R&B, just name it. Rarely do you find, even with the R&B stuff, you have to be a big R&B artist where white and black people are singing your song to go on the Super Bowl. Kendrick is there today because in 2019, I'm giving you two factors. In 2019, when Jay-Z took over, he changed a few things. He deepened the black representation that it shouldn't just be limited to these type of music, like soul music, R&B, pop, let's bring in some hip hop. And so he started rolling out. So we saw Dre and Eminem and 50, and Kendrick himself performed in 2022, right? Here's where it gets interesting for me. If you guys remember, in 2019, or prior to Jay-Z's appointment as partner, i.e. Rock Nation as entertainment partner for the halftime show, there was a campaign about taking the knee in various sporting disciplines, right? And one gentleman known as Colin Kaepernick, who was ostracized for taking the knee as part of also protesting against police brutality and racial injustice. Now, because of that, the NFL came under serious heat because they felt like Colin Kaepernick went against the system, and the system had to also take him out. When Jay-Z was announced as the partner for the entertainment wing, which is what we've all witnessed in the last few years, having produced some of these Super Bowl halftime shows, the black community felt betrayed by that move from Jay-Z and Rock Nation. And to make matters worse, I remember Colin's girlfriend made a statement about, the partnership was a move to bury Colin's activism, because Jay-Z is quite powerful in these spaces, right? But beyond that, Jay-Z himself came under fire when he passed a comment saying that we have moved past kneeling. I don't believe Jay was coming from a bad place when he said we've moved past kneeling. I think he was just trying to express his opinion by saying that, listen, kneeling is not enough. We need to implement certain structures and certain systems to fight back. But even the black community did not take it lightly because they felt like that was very dismissive. So now Jay is in bed with the white folks through NFL. Now, what does Jay-Z do? Mind you, in 2024, last year, Jay-Z faced all sorts of sexual allegations that apparently were decades old, okay? And people were saying that, this was going to end his partnership with the NFL, and these white folks don't play like that, and blah, 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 blah. But here's where the game is being played beyond what we see. The NFL has an image to protect. So in 2019, they need to make a move to bring in one of the most powerful black people in the space, in the community, to try and save face. Jay-Z himself also needed to take the opportunity to redeem his image by booking a hip-hop artist who is known to be very controversial with his performances and very bold and direct with his expressions in his performances. So if you ask me, from 2019 to date, it's all about optics. It's all about optics. Like, come and do the dirty job for us. Come and clean our image. People are angry at us. So he took advantage. So this is even beyond Kendrick. As for Kendrick, he's a boogeyman. He's an assassin, right? any arsenal you give him, he go fit use am. And to think of the fact that he had one of the biggest hip-hop years in 2024, going toe-to-toe with perhaps one of the most successful pop or hip-hop stars in the last decade. This was his opportunity. He took it and he did not miss a beat. He gave it to him word to word. Every 5 minutes, be a neck present. If you like, meet Kendrick at the Coco Sellers joint, and any question you ask him, Drake, everyone with the beer, Drake will get in share. Experts say this beef was arguably one of the biggest in decades. You look at all the suits that are coming out, even with this performance that he gave us at the Super Bowl halftime show, experts are arguing that he couldn't say things like pedophile on TV, right? But even the performance itself could attract some lawsuits. Yeah, and Kendrick himself knows that, but he's ready for the smoke because he needs it. It comes with it. It comes with a job. I don't subscribe to people who say Drake has made Kendrick, but I think that performance at the Super Bowl halftime show put more spotlight on the feud between himself and Drake, and not really much about who we know him to be. If you take away the Not Like Us performance, and you look on the other hand, there is a message, and like I shared with you, the message was there, but what is everybody paying attention to? If you're a Kendrick fan, you may watch the performance and pay attention to all of the literature in there and what he was trying to achieve, which I think he did. But the true entertainment is when he performed Not Like Us. So why didn't he continue to perform some of his hit songs? When he performed Humble, everybody was excited. When he performed Luther, there were excitement in the crowd. People love Caesar, whether you are black or white, they love her anyways, right? Maybe it's because she's an R&B singer, maybe. But you realize that is what people came there for. The anticipation tied to the entertainment was because we want you to come and sing arguably one of the biggest pop songs in the world, and that's Not Like Us. It would have been a regular day, a normal day for anybody, and we probably would have talked about the performance, top of mind. We would talk about the political representation and the political message that was being sent. But the Super Bowl is designed for jams, bro. Come and jam us, bro. I'm not here to come and decipher what you're trying to do, bro. Let's be honest. And I'm not even a Drake fan. I'm actually a K-Dot fan. You get me? It's what the Super Bowl has come to be. Listen, I'm not here to trash his performance. I can't trash his performance because art is very subjective. I think it was a beautiful display of hip-hop and its artistry, right? But I'm also saying that before Kendrick came to hold the reins of hip-hop, Dre and 50 and M were doing it. They could have equally done the same thing at the Super Bowl stage. But they understand the design of Super Bowl. It's back-to-back hits. Unless you guys are telling me that he doesn't have back-to-back hits, then that's a different conversation. And that's why some people argue that maybe they should have gone to Lil Wayne, because Lil Wayne's catalog, the hit songs on the catalog, everybody, whether you are black, white, green, whatever, you are jamming. It's not a lecture hall, bro. Super Bowl hall and your lecture hall. Salute to Kendrick for doing what he did and everything, getting the message across and everything. Yeah, we get it. But bro, Charlie, Uncle Sam coming into the fray, and I'm sure there are even more. I'm sure that people are even going to ask some things that didn't exist. Yeah, because it's Kendrick. It's fine. That's the brand he's built. But truly, that stage and what it's known for and what it has been known for and what Kendrick brought was a mismatch. But he gets a pass because Jay-Z knows what he's trying to do. Jay-Z knows that there is some level of animosity amongst the black community versus him. So he needs to play a master move to win back their love. Because Kendrick's performance, Black History Month, doing that in front of Donald Trump, what more can you ask for? Is there any bigger political message through artistry? Kendrick's about to go on tour. I'm sure the tickets are going to balloon. His song is definitely going to blow up because that's the whole idea of the Super Bowl anyways. We don't pay you to come and perform. It's like they are doing you a favor, so you bring in your best. And shout out to PG Lang, the whole literature of the performance, solid. But even Kendrick himself knew that where he had come to was the right time, but the wrong person. He knew that where he had come to was the right place, but he also knew that that place does not accept people like him. People like him are rebels. They don't subscribe to the norm. His performance was expected from a hip-hop point of view. But in this case, it's not just hip-hop you're looking at. You are looking at the business of entertainment. It was a huge risk that was taken. And Jay may handle the backdoor conversations and whatnot. Kendrick may get the spotlight because he did get the spotlight. But guess what? it would take another type of convincing to get another Kendrick on there. Mind you, it is the nature of Kendrick's performance and the nature of Kendrick's music that had him feature just a few minutes on Dr. Dre's set. Kendrick, obviously represented the new school of hip-hop, had to get in with that. But we all know that he got the slot because he had the biggest hip-hop song last year. And any businessman would take advantage of that and put it to the world. All I'm trying to say is Kendrick knew right from the get-go, Super Bowl isn't designed for things like that. So he would be the first to go against the grain. And whoever comes after, there's already a template. I'm not saying you should perform just one song. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that the nature of the Super Bowl that we have become accustomed to, and there needs to be room for that. All truth is parallel. All truth can coexist. There is what Kendrick does best, and we know him best for. He's your typical hip-hop artist that uses music to protest against what has been accepted as the norm. There's also a part where I believe that, for the most part of it, I think America was looking forward to seeing Democrats retain power and seeing Kamala become president. It helps with the positioning of the conversation. But here's a case where Trump is back. Some of these things don't even sit well with most of these white Americans. I saw some of the comments and I was just laughing my head off because they just didn't like what they saw. They didn't care what it meant. The only thing they figured out was the fact that they could identify the American flag out of the choreography. And that is why Uncle Sam was there. Uncle Sam was the representation of what America has become towards the Black community, towards the Black people. You can't do this, you can't do that, you are ghetto, you are this, you are that. You can't be moving this way, you can't be moving that way. And Kendrick is like, nah, my way, my rules, my thing. So that's all I have to say on this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hey, please don't come and blast me. I'm just sharing it from an objective point of view, okay? It wasn't the typical Super Bowl performance that many of us are accustomed to. Was it necessary? Yes, it was. Very necessary in the kind of climate we are living in. Not just in America, but globally, all right, in terms of Black representation, Black power, Black leadership, and so on and so forth. And the rebellious aspect of a community that are facing serious crisis following the elections. There's a lot of tension going on right now because of the appointment or the re-election of President Donald Trump. There's a lot happening in America at the moment, right? And Kendrick just took the opportunity to address these matters. What he did was bold. Songs off his album at the stage like that in front of a predominantly white crowd, that is Kendrick Lamar for you. And here is OSN. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next upload. Bye-bye.